At hindi lamang dito sa ating bayan na ipamalas ang kapulisan ang inyong giting at tapang. Kabilang kayo sa pinakamaraming peacemakers or peacekeepers ng UN sa buong mundo. At lately, yung peacekeepers natin sa Haiti ay nandiyan sa gitna ng eksena, ang ating mga pulis. At nagpapasalamat tayo na ligtas pa rin sila sa panganib at kasalukuyan tumutulong sa search and rescue operations. Talagang dapat din sila magkaroon ng medalya. At inatasan ko rin magpadala pa ng dagdag na peacekeepers sa Haiti. Kasama ko ang buong sambayanan sa paghanga sa inyong ipinamalas ng kabayanihan. Kabayanihan hindi naging madali sa harap ng mga pagsubok at mga hamong tumambad sa inyo. Like the PNP, the Philippines itself has come a long way since January 2001. Time has gratefully erased many memories of the tumultuous time less than 10 years ago, when the nation teetered on political chaos and financial bankruptcy. The economy was jammed in reverse. Few investments were being made. Few jobs were being created. The public sector debt of 3.6 trillion pesos was bigger than the GDP of 3.3 trillion pesos. The foreign debt was 73% of GDP. Foreign reserves were razor thin. It was a time of lower salaries, including for the police force. You had a bill, you had a law increasing your salaries, but it couldn't be implemented by the time I had come in. And there was high inflation to further disturb your low salaries. Due to the large debt to GDP ratios, insufficient investments had been made to expand healthcare, improve education, provide clean water, and needed electricity to remote barangays. Internationally, the Philippines had fallen far, far off the radar screen. It had taken itself out of consideration by investors as a place to invest and create jobs. Into this dismal picture we stepped. In 2001, I did not seek the office of the President. It was thrust upon me with, as I said earlier, the PNP playing a central role in EDSA 2. Rather than shirk from the onerous task, together with you, I rolled up my sleeves, determined to turn the Philippines around. Together with you, I was focused like a laser beam on delivering real results to better the lives of ordinary Filipinos. As an economist, I knew that to reverse years of economic decline, we had to instill fiscal discipline, not just discipline of the citizenry to the police. We had to grow the economy, and we had to invest in human and physical infrastructure, including investment in the police. And I'm glad that General Versosa already talked about the supplemental 10 billion pesos capacity building enhancement fund as an offshoot of the PNP modernization program, including the 2 billion pesos release to acquire firepower and mobility and communication equipment for our police stations from 2008 to 2012. And I'm also glad that every police station now has at least one patrol vehicle. How could we afford this? From day one, our actions to instill fiscal discipline, grow the economy, and invest in human and physical infrastructure would form the building blocks of a turnaround that would deliver 36 consecutive quarters of growth, create 9 million new jobs, including more than 20,000 in the police, and our turnaround also delivered the addition of 52 million people to health care and a stable fiscal situation that allowed us to afford your transformation. You have never shied away from taking on tough challenges, as I have never shied away from taking on tough issues. Most notably, my popularity dipped when I went against the grain and championed the passage of the expanded value-added tax. I knew it would be unpopular, but someone had to get the nation's fiscal house in order and bring in revenues to invest in the people, including in the police. It was the right thing to do. It has served the people and the PNP well, and I have no regrets about it. We have also ensured that more and more families are able to own a home. During our tenure, more than 300,000 low-cost housing for the Filipino people have been built, including housing programs for the police, as showed by General Versosa, such as those in Camp Bagong Diwa, Bikutan, Camp Macabulis in Tarlac, Camp Castañeda in Silang, Camp Capistrano in Cagayan de Oro. This is in keeping with what I said in 2001, that I would be studying how to make the lives of policemen and their families better. Since that time, as I said, before I came in, there had been a law giving you higher salaries, but they couldn't be implemented. Since that time, the men and women of the PNP have been granted 5 increases in salaries and allowances, so that today you are earning more than double what you did in 2001. This is on top of scholarships for your children and cheaper medicines and food sold in outlets within the camps, and the other many benefits that General Versosa inventoried, which I don't need to add after that. In conclusion, in summary, we will leave a legacy of hard work, a strong and stable economy, renewed global engagement, major investments in healthcare, education, and law enforcement, and dramatic improvements in physical infrastructure. Yes, much work remains to be done, but through your support, we are determined to turn over to a new government, a new Philippines, one that is ready for the challenges of bringing our nation to the verge of first world in 20 years, which would include a modern and thoroughly professional police force. Kinikilala ng sambayanan ang napakalaking kontribusyon na ipanagkaloob ninyo para sa pambansang katahimikan at pangkahusayan. Dalawa sa mahalagang mga sangkap ng pangmatagalang kaunlaran. Kaya, ang aking hiling sa inyo, patuloy ninyong bigyan ng dangal ang organisasyong ito sa pamamagitan ng inyong tapat na paglilingkod. Maraming salamat muli sa inyong suporta and happy anniversary sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Madam President. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause.